Gunnison, Colorado is cattle country. The real era of stock growing started in the late 1800s with the launching of cattlemen's days, a tradition now in its 117th year. It's Gunnison's high elevation sagebrush that supports ranching and the Gunnison sage grouse. These birds are said to have once darkened the sky, but the population began to decline in the 1950s. Some pointed fingers at the cattle ranchers, but in truth, there were many factors that contributed to their decline. As concerns grew, ranchers in the Gunnison Basin knew they would have to become engaged to protect their livelihood while also protecting the bird. Greg Peterson was a leader in these efforts.
The reason we got involved was the relationship between livestock grazing and cattle's habitat needs and how they closely interact with sage grouse and the habitat they need. I think that the most important thing that's happened over time of my being involved with sage grouse work in the basin is how folks have had attitudes change to where people work together, and folks that ranch see that if they do the right things for the habitat on the ground, it enhances their ability to graze livestock while at the same time enhancing sage grouse habitat. And so that's at the forefront, and this community has come together and they work together collaboratively now and do work on the ground together, and that's probably the most important thing that's happened over the past 20 years.
A key piece of the puzzle has been the recognition that keeping ranches profitable is essential to protecting the sagebrush habitat that the sage grouse depend on. But to do that, there needed to be strong conservation partnerships that were formed.
We're very fortunate here in the Gunnison Basin. We have a lot of collaborative partnerships and a lot of folks that are willing to work together, both private sector, NGO, and governmental opportunities. We're all willing to kind of share money, resources to kind of get these projects done across the landscape, and have been pretty successful about working across political boundaries. This project you'll see here is actually a wet meadow project on private property, but you'll notice that all the uphill landscape around here is actually BLM.
Smart livestock grazing practices and improved wet meadows are things that NRCS has focused on for the sage grouse.
Greg's been integral in all of the conservation work that's kind of started. He's kind of been the foundation, tying it from the warm fuzzy feelings to the actual changes and adoption in an agricultural situation, and kind of helping us reach out to other ranchers and serving as that linkage to getting this conservation on the ground, and understanding that kind of what's good for the bird is what's good for the herd.
I think moving forward in this basin that there will continue to be collaborative work between private landowners, NRCS, and other agencies. I think that the base that's been developed in this community will continue to be strong. I think we'll work through the listing of the sage grouse, and hopefully for me that it's delisted, but I think we'll continue to work on and make efforts to work towards viable agriculture and sage grouse conservation.